The team captains approach the field for the coin toss. 6 team captains altogether for the European squad. And shaking hands in a show of good sportsmanship, of course. And in just a moment, we will determine who will begin the game with the ball. This will be played with 10-minute quarters for the game. And the announcements, the player introductions have already taken place just before the national anthem began. Loud cheering on the near sideline here for the European team. Who are coached by Ben Herod. And the team shake hands again. Two teams hungry to play. An interesting backstory going into this one, of course, is the fact that yesterday, during the combines and the training camp for the European squad, we received some information from one of the crew that there was a player on the team who predicted that the team would win 23-0 over Canada in this game. When this was brought to the attention of some of the players on the Canadian team, they simply smiled and shrugged it off and said, well, we have a lot of good players. We're not going to make any predictions. But it's going to be very interesting to see what the results are after such a huge prediction being made. From my own experience in the annals of history in sports, particularly in American sports, the man who I recall being the best at predicting his own victory and getting it accurately was that of Muhammad Ali. And there's an onside kick to start out the game by Team Canada, but apparently is recovered by Europe. There was a devastating hit, and we already have a player down on the field. We could almost hear that helmet collision from all the way up here atop the stadium. So before things begin on first down, we're going to take an injury timeout, and we'll be back after this.
Hey fans, bring your kid's special sports moment to life. Big Shots, the nation's leader in sports and entertainment graphics, makes it easy to turn your star athlete into a big shot. Log on to bigshots.co. That's bigshots.co and learn how to create a Big Shot action poster and life-size die-cut vinyl action image. Big Shots wall graphics will not damage your walls, and they're transferable. Capture the moment with Big Shots.
My advice to an athlete, or really anybody, just become obsessed, become dedicated.
All I did every single day was treat the scout team as my Super Bowl. And so I just tried to go out there and do every single thing that I could to catch the coach's eye and show them that I was a player that they wanted to have on their team and a player that they wanted to give a scholarship to.
Someone's always going to be more athletic than you. Someone's always going to be maybe more talented, but if you work hard, you know anything's possible.
And the player being injured has been taken off the field. We resume play with 1st and 10 for Team Europe. 1 back and 4 receivers wide, a pro-style offense. Number 48 in motion. Here's the throw. It's a screen pass to the far side of the field. He has some room. A good block, breaks a tackle. Inside the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown for Europe. Seconds into the game. That was a well-designed play. A good throw and a good catch out in the flat. And I tell you, the British Columbia defense didn't really have many opportunities to make a play on that ball. And on to kick the extra point attempt. It's number 33. Kick is up and it's good. And 11 seconds into the first quarter, we have Europe on top of British Columbia, 7-0. We'll be back for another kickoff, this time going the other way. This is Alex Moore with the broadcast for FB.
Football University, the nation's leading football training experience, is accepting nominations for its 2013 camps. We teach the leading techniques, drills, and mental aspects of the game to increase your football IQ and to make you a better player. Our instructors are current and former NFL coaches. The same coaches that train today's NFL stars will train you. FBU is by invitation only. Visit footballuniversity.org for more information.
And here we are back for the kickoff for Team Europe, kicking it away to British Columbia. They took their first play from scrimmage at their own 48 and got a quick strike on a screen pass to the right sideline for a score. Referee is talking to the kicker. A little bit of confusion about how they need to line up, it seems. I'm not sure why the referee feels the need to explain that. If they're lined up improperly, you simply throw a flag for offsides. Instead, he's getting them lined up. There's the kick. It's a deep one. Caught at the 12-yard line. And a big hit. Ball came loose. British Columbia retains possession across the 20-yard line to about the 24 for their first possession. They won't get the same great field position. A flag is out on the field. Back at around the 41-yard line on the opposing side of the field. An offside has been called on the kicking team, so despite all the correction that the referee tried to give to this European team as they were kicking off, ironically, they still were called for an offside penalty. This Canadian team is not as deep as far as how many players they have as the European team, but then again, they're not as widespread. Here's a run up the middle, goes across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. They began the ball at the 28 after the penalty. So a gain of about 4 yards on the play, and it'll be 2nd down and 6 for Team British Columbia. Back in shotgun, 2 men back and 3 receivers wide for Team Canada. Fakes the handoff, and now the throw to the left, has some room and gets the first down across the 40. The reception hauled in by number 7, Marcus Davis. Quarterback Liam O'Brien with the pass completion, his first of the game. Ball placed at the 40-yard line. Shotgun again, man in motion number 38. To the left. One man back, potentially a blocker on the play. It's going to be another pass. Has some time. Going deep, has a man open, and he drops the ball. I'll tell you, if you were any more open than that, you could drive a double wide through it. An unfortunate drop pass. That's wide receiver number 84, Braden Linnaeus. He knew right away when the ball slipped through his hands that it was an unfortunate thing. But keep in mind, folks, that it is 46 degrees or possibly colder, and that does tend to affect the ball, making it harder to grip the ball, not only on passing it, but even receiving it. Here's a lob throw up ahead that's incomplete. Tried to get it out in the open to a running back who actually looks more like a fullback. That's Malik Irons. And he had 3 blockers in front of him, which may have gotten him enough yards for potentially a first down. Instead, it's incomplete. O'Brien comes back out again with the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 10 from the 40. European defense not necessarily making big plays. They're just catching some good breaks as Team Canada is just coming up short on some of these pass plays. Now here's another screen. It's the same play, but on the opposite side of the field. Has running room, a first down, brought down outside the 40. So this time the throw is perfect, and Malik takes it all the way across midfield and into European territory. He's brought down by number 97, Jamal Beard. Who basically just had to wrestle him out of bounds to make sure that he didn't go the distance down the sideline. The ball is officially at the 39-yard line. Canada trails at 7-0. O'Brien in shotgun again. Has time, looking to throw. Goes up the middle, wide open. It's caught for a touchdown. And that's Davis with his second reception of the quarter. And with 7:55 to go, it is now Europe 7 and British Columbia 6. We can see the arm and the accuracy of O'Brien, not only the strength, but just the pinpoint accuracy. And you can see the defense, they're building, I mean, the offensive line is building a great pocket around the quarterback so far in this game. You can see the rush is trying to get there, but absolutely no resistance whatsoever so far. They didn't score on one play, but they got it done, and that one was still a big one. As the ball was at the, I believe the ball was at the 39-yard line, so a 39-yard touchdown pass, or maybe it was 29 yards. In any case, the game is tied at 7, and we'll be back in just a moment for the next kickoff.
In order to be faster each and every day, keep working hard.
Feet moving, feet moving, feet moving. You gotta get out. Bam. Every time, full speed. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Push it good. Lift. Look at the hands. Look at the eye level. I like it.
Let's take 5 kicks and let it go. He was bouncing right there. He ran right to you.
It's only one ball, and everybody should be running to the ball.
Control the wrist.
Watch my knees. They go out like what? I'm climbing a big tree.
Power comes from what? Through your feet, through your hips, through the palms of your hand, guys.
And back for the ensuing kickoff here high above Hero Stadium. The score now 7-7 with 7:55 to go in the first quarter. Thus far, there's been very little defense by either team. The reputation for Europe, no matter what the sport, is that they don't play defense. At least that's what people have always said about European basketball. Not quite sure what to say about American football in that case. But they just gave up a touchdown, and so therefore that nullifies the prediction of one young man on the team who shall go nameless, who predicted his team would win 23-0. The way things are going so far in this one, it's hard to imagine that either team will stop short of 23 points as well. And shotgun with 5 receivers wide for Europe, an aggressive offensive play attack. There's a handoff, it goes to the left side and gets some room. He's across midfield and finally dragged out of bounds at the 40. Well, this has been the big playmaker so far for the team, number 48, as he had the long touchdown reception on a screen pass, which went the distance, 52 yards for the touchdown. Right now we have an injured man on the field for Europe, the second of the game. When we come back, it'll be 1st down and 10 for Team Europe.
I've been playing chess since I was 9 years old. It helps me anticipate my opponent's next move. Chess prepares my mind for battle. Because victory requires my strength, my speed, and my intelligence. My name is Ray Rice, and I'm an enlightened warrior.
Introducing the Youth Football Coaches Association, the premier online resource dedicated to improving coaching effectiveness and promoting youth safety for all volunteers. Register free at yfbca.org and begin receiving free youth coaching information, monthly newsletters, certification, and background checks. The most up-to-date concussion information, drills for all positions and skill levels. Learn all types of offensive and defensive plays. Join us at yfbca.org, where we are making good coaches great teachers.
And back with 1st down and 10, the injured man on the field is number 40 for Team Europe, and he appears to have done something to his knee or his ankle on the play. There's a fake handoff and a QB keeper. We have a whistle on the play, and it is dead. More than likely, this will be a false start of some kind. Something against the offense, I'm sure. Took them a long time to blow the whistle. The play had already ensued. And indeed, the injured man on the sideline is number 40. That's Xavier Adjuan. And he appears to be in some pain over there, so we hope he's okay. Meanwhile, it's going to be 1st down and 15. Now there's a run play on the right side that doesn't go for much. Tackle by committee for Canada, but the lead tackler on that one, number 93. That's Kent Hicks, the defensive lineman, one of the few linemen on this team, as they do play that spread defensive attack with the defensive backs. At least that was what I was told. Shotgun again. Man in motion once again, number 44. Now the QB keeper has some room, but he's going to be nowhere near the 1st down. It is currently only 2nd down, however. So we've seen the quarterback, Dorbalevsky, take a couple of keepers now. 2 out of the last 3 plays, and it has not yielded a whole lot of yardage. Now, one of them did get called back for a false start. But Dario completed his first pass, which went for 52 yards in the touchdown. And now they're keeping it on the ground. It's a keeper again on 3rd down and long. Not sure what the play calling is on that one. I guess they feel that if the Canadian defense presumes they are going to pass it on a long yardage situation, they might be able to get away with doing a running play. But the defense for British Columbia was not fooled. The punting unit comes out onto the field. On to punt number 23 for Team Europe. That's Dale Sommers. Checking back in, number 93. A late arrival on the line. A very key hole has been filled. Play has been stopped before it begins. 5:14 to go in the first quarter, still tied at 7-7. Clock resumes, a 5-yard penalty again, so it's 4th down and very long. The defense jumped, but they did not cross, and there's a high spiraling punt. And it's reeled in at the 20, going out across the 30 to the 40, and up to about midfield. And once again, Marcus Davis making a great play for Team Canada. He already has a touchdown reception. Now he has a long kick return, or punt return rather, on the ensuing possession. And this starts Team Canada at midfield. Their best field position so far in this game. So from midfield, here comes Team Canada with the game tied at 7. There's the fake. QB has it, goes downfield. The pass a little bit low and incomplete. O'Brien did a good job selling the fake. Right-handed quarterback rolling out to his left. It's always a very difficult throw to make. Intended receiver, number 84. And once again, that's Braden Linnaeus, who dropped a potential touchdown earlier, which ended up not costing them anything on their previous drive. It is now 2nd down and 10 from midfield. This is the first international bowl game being played in the first annual International Bowl Game Series here in San Antonio, sponsored by Football University, All-American Army Bowl Classic. We've already had some action so far this week. Yesterday, for the Texas Youth Football Association, Division II and Division I played at the age 10 and age 11 range over at the Alamo Dome. Both games were one-sided affairs, but the exposure nonetheless was very important for all the young men on the field. Right now, 3rd down and 1 for Team Canada, trying to keep this drive alive. Could be a potential situation where you go for it on 4th down. There's going to be the pitch. He has no blocker in front, but he breaks a tackle and has the 1st down and gets inside the 30. And I tell you, that's a big missed tackle, which allowed him to get the 1st down. So a good run by Malik Irons. Coming off the field for Europe, number 56. That would be Cadell King, who plays at linebacker and defensive end. And we've seen him trying to get to the quarterback on several occasions, but to no avail. Like I said, this offensive line has done a brilliant job of creating a great pocket for the quarterback. O'Brien back to pass again. He looks to the right. It's complete. And inside the 20, fighting for extra yardage and brought down at the 15. Number 57 on the tackle.
Number 89, Brian Dowd. Good enough for a 1st down.
And that's going to be another first down for Canada. So it was no joke. As I was speaking to some of the young men on this team, particularly a very well-spoken young man who plays defensive end, Gurtaj Bangu, who told me this team has a lot of good players, and that was pretty much all he had to say. And that was all he had to say. Ball goes inside the 10 for Malik Irons. Substitution on the play again for the defense. Europe going with a lot of combo packages. Checking back in number 95. Incidentally, still on the sideline, number 40, Xavier Adjouan. Not sure if he'll get back into the game or not. It is now second down and goal. A run play up the middle. It blows wide open for a touchdown. Well, clearly Team Europe was expecting a pass play as they showed no signs of defending the run. And it was just a matter of really just jumping in between the holes. That was a quick run and a very smart run by number 38 for Team Canada. That being Mason Swift, and aptly named. So Team Canada goes out in front with 2:06 to go in the first quarter. Extra points still to ensue. It's up and it's good. When we come back, it'll be kickoff time again for Canada. They have scored the last 2 touchdowns, and they lead it over Europe 14-7.
Hey fans, bring your kid's special sports moment to life. Big Shots, the nation's leader in sports and entertainment graphics, makes it easy to turn your star athlete into a big shot. Log on to bigshots.co. That's bigshots.co and learn how to create a Big Shot action poster and life-size die-cut vinyl action image. Big Shots wall graphics will not damage your walls, and they're transferable. Capture the moment with Big Shots.
My advice to an athlete, or really anybody, just become obsessed, become dedicated.
All I did every single day was treat the scout team as my Super Bowl. And so I just tried to go out there and do every single thing that I could to catch the coach's eye and show them that I was a player that they wanted to have on their team and a player that they wanted to give a scholarship to.
Someone's always going to be more athletic than you. Someone's always going to be maybe more talented, but if you work hard, you know anything's possible.
We're back for the kickoff here late in the first quarter for Canada. Another short kick, but once again handled properly at the 48-yard line for Team Europe. Some good hands on that team, especially along the front line. Number 97 has made 2 very good plays in that situation. Now, the last time Team Europe had the ball in this position, it was a screen pass to the far sideline that went for a 52-yard touchdown for running back Isdale. Man in motion number 44, their quarterback taking the snap. It's a fake. There's a deep throw down the near sideline. Almost intercepted. Good one-on-one coverage by Canada. And it'll be second down. 2 minutes to go in the first here from Hero Stadium. This play-by-play action being called by Alex Moore. This is the first international bowl game for the FBU Championship Series week here in San Antonio. For all the people who have come in from other parts of the world and other parts of the country, they were not expecting 46-degree temperatures, which is currently dropping as it gets later on in the evening. Looked like there may have been a jump off sides, but no flag comes out, and instead it's a good run up the middle for 11 yards and another first down for Team Europe.
41, Curtis Furlong. We go third down.
It appeared that there had been a first down, but now they're marking it short as a third down. From this angle, it looked to me like he did get it. And as it turns out, he's actually about 1 foot wide, 1 foot short. With a minute 45 to go in the quarter. So it'll be third down and inches for Team Europe, and a very important play to keep the drive alive, as they're now trying to recover from a 14-7 deficit after leading it 7-0 very early into the quarter. In fact, it was showing 9:49, 11 seconds into the quarter when they got their first touchdown. The clock has not started yet. And now play resumes. And here we go, a very important third down, maybe the first big third down play for either team. There goes the motion, and we have a penalty on the play, and it's a false start. So instead of a dramatic third down and inches, we now have a third down and 5. Several players guilty of moving too early on that one. Of course, what is often the case is one player moves and the man next to him moves and so forth. Running off the field, number 83 for Team Europe. Maybe he was in the guilty party. That would be Mr. Perry. I had a chance to speak with his father a little bit earlier before this game started. And he is one who was recruited out of South Africa, although they currently live in New York. And a good run on the ensuing play, but not enough for the first down, and this will bring up 4th down and a yard. So that third down and inches penalty was very costly, and now a very important decision to make with 43 seconds to go in the first quarter. The play clock has begun. It appears there's no hesitation that this team is going to go for it on this down. Meanwhile, the clock winds down to under 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Canada trailed at 7-0, but bounced back and has taken a 14-7 lead. Now a flag again, as number 34 on Team Europe got started on the play well before the ball was snapped. And once again, it's going to be a 5-yard penalty, so 4th down and 6. And this will more than likely take us down to the end of the first quarter. When we come back for the second quarter here from Hero Stadium with FBU coverage of the international game, the first of the series, it'll be Canada 14 and Europe 7.
Football University, the nation's leading football training experience, is accepting nominations for its 2013 camps. We teach the leading techniques, drills, and mental aspects of the game to increase your football IQ and to make you a better player. Our instructors are current and former NFL coaches. The same coaches that train today's NFL stars will train you. FBU is by invitation only. Visit footballuniversity.org for more information.
Back with action here from Hero Stadium for the second quarter in this international play. The contest here on the field, we have a team from Europe and a team from British Columbia, Canada. It was Europe who struck first, 11 seconds into the first quarter, leading at 7-0, but since then, 2 unanswered touchdowns, and now a key 4th down and 6 for Team Europe as they are going to go for it. Dobrolowski has the ball and hands it off up the middle, going to be well short of the first down. And so a good defensive stand for Canada. They tried to go with Isdale, who broke one a couple of times early in the first quarter. Limited success this time. And despite the size difference between these two teams, Canada showing that they have a great ability to get to the ball with their speed and make very good, solid tackles, with the exception of a few plays. Now a spread play on the offense. A fake handoff and a pass to the left side. Has some room on the left sideline. Cuts it back inside at the 35 and brought down at the 34. And the star continues to be Marcus Davis, who keeps cutting through that defense. Not all of these pass plays have been down the field. This one, once again, a screen pass, which he turns into a big pass play. A lot of confidence on that offense for Canada. The defense for Europe was very intense. The whole team looked ready and revved up to go. Canada coming in kind of all business, very quiet on the field. But they are tearing it up right now, and there's another good block. And a tackle just short of the first down, but Irons gets a gain of about 7 on the play. So here we go with 2nd down and short for British Columbia, trying to build on their 14-7 lead with 8:46 to go in the first half. Shotgun formation. Here's O'Brien calling it out. There's the pitch to Malik Irons. He had a hole, but it closes up quickly. Looks like he's going to be short of the first down. They need to get to about the 23-yard line. Looks like they were stopped at about the 25. Apparently he was able to push the pile. Looked to me like he had been stopped short, but apparently he did get enough for the first down up at the 22-yard line. And right now they're zipping through that Europe defense like butter, like knife on hot butter, I mean to say. Could be that the temperature's so cold I can't even get the words hot out of my mouth. O'Brien looking to throw. Here comes the pressure. He goes to the left side to Irons. Fighting his way inside the 10, going towards the end zone, but dropped out of bounds at the 4. A game-saving play, incidentally, by number 36 on the European team.
31, Liam O'Brien to the pass, Malik Irons. By number 36, Nicky Baker. 1st and goal, British Columbia.
So here we go again for British Columbia. They're not dazzling anybody with humongous plays down the field, but they are getting their yards in bunches, and it is leading to opportunities just like this. This would be their 3rd of the game. The clock stopped at 7:59, a chance to go up by 2 scores. There's the fake. Bryan rolling out to the right. He goes into the end zone, and a touchdown. He threaded the needle on that one.
The 31, Liam O'Brien. The pass to Mason Swift, number 38.
And that's the 2nd touchdown of the game for Mason Swift. His first was from 4 yards out for a rushing touchdown. This time a 4-yard passing reception for a touchdown. Extra point to ensue. This would make it a 2-score game. Hold is down, the kick is up, and it's good.
Number 26. Big extra point, which is good.
Liam Mahara, the kicker, makes it good. He's 3 for 3 on the day. And the score now, Canada building that lead to 2 touchdowns over Europe, 21-7. We'll be back for the next kickoff.
Sports Entertainment Graphics. Order today at www.bigshots.co. And be sure to enter the coupon code FBU2013 when placing your order.
In order to be faster each and every day, to keep working hard.
Feet moving, feet moving, feet moving. You gotta get out. Bam. Every time, full speed. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Push it good. Lift. Look at the hands. Look at the eye level. I like it.
Let's take 5 kicks and let it go.
He was bouncing right there. He ran right to you.
It's only one ball, and everybody should be running to the ball.
Control the wrist.
Watch my knees. They go out like what? I'm climbing a big tree.
Power comes from what? Through your feet, through your hips, through the palms of your hand, guys.
And we're back for another kickoff for British Columbia, who has now scored 3 unanswered touchdowns after trailing at 7-0 early in the first quarter. Now, about midway through the second quarter, they have built a 14-point lead at 21-7. This time a squib kick brought inside the 30 and taken back to about the 34, wrestled out of bounds. It looked like the kicker may have been the one who knocked him out of bounds. Also went on the play number 41 on the kicking team, that being Curtis Urlacher, bearing some resemblance to Brian Urlacher of the Chicago Bears. Not sure if there's any relation, of course. Shotgun again. It's a fake and a pass. Has time, looks down the field. Dobolevsky almost had it intercepted. Well, the only pass play that's been successful thus far was the early screen pass that led to their only touchdown so far in the game. This time, good double coverage down the sideline. He did have time in the pocket. Pressure not the key issue there, but very good coverage by Team Canada, and that spread defense doing its job. It seems like they have a pretty good handle on when to predict that this team is going to run or pass, leading to success on stopping the run as well. Shotgun again, 1 man back, 3 receivers wide. Mishandling the snap, and it turns into a QB keeper. Now he's going to throw it downfield, and that one is just a little bit too high for the intended receiver, number 87 on Team Europe, Tom Van Duyn. And there's the next play. It's going to be a pass again. Screen pass to the right side. Oh, boy. That one out of the hands of the intended target. And you saw number 37 for Canada closing in on that play. Came dangerously close to maybe getting his hands on that ball. And that's going to bring up 4th down. So once again, the Canada defense holding serve. You know, the defense reminds me a little bit of the Giants from the 80s, the New York Football Giants, who were not noted for coming up with a lot of big turnovers per se, but just played excellent one-on-one coverage, and that's what you're seeing from Canada. The stat sheet may not show them coming up with a lot of big plays, but you look at the scoreboard and you can see why they're leading at 21-7. Right now, a timeout on the field called by British Columbia, and we'll be back after this.
I've been playing chess since I was 9 years old. It helps me anticipate my opponent's next move. Chess prepares my mind for battle. Because victory requires my strength, my speed, and my intelligence. My name is Ray Rice, and I'm an enlightened warrior.
Introducing the Youth Football Coaches Association, the premier online resource dedicated to improving coaching effectiveness and promoting youth safety for all volunteers. Register free at yfbca.org and begin receiving free youth coaching information, monthly newsletters, certification, and background checks. The most up-to-date concussion information, drills for all positions and skill levels. Learn all types of offensive and defensive plays. Join us at yfbca.org, where we are making good coaches great teachers.
And back from the timeout, Europe with the ball. On fourth down, appears they'll be attempting a punting situation here. A dangerous punting return man here for British Columbia, who has already taken one back for a good distance, and he's the lone man back again. Comes up with the back of the 25, gets some room up the middle. He's across the 40, breaks out to the right, gets away from another tackle. Now he reverses field to the near sideline. There's a block in the back, but he gets across midfield to the 45. It was not a complete block, so no flag on the play, as it was just kind of a touch on the side, if you will. But another brilliant return, once again, by Marcus Davis again. Now, number 38, Mason Swift, has 2 touchdowns, but both of them coming from 4 yards out. To me, the key player and the big star of this game for British Columbia offensively is still Marcus Davis. The big touchdown reception down the field and 2 very good punt returns. This one even better than the last one. The ball is inside the 45. O'Brien in shotgun. Handoff goes up the middle. Finds some room, not much there. A gain of about 2 or 3 on the play. The runner, Liam Mahara. Seen him take the ball a couple of times now here in the second quarter. And Canada looking to build on that lead again. It did not look good early when they trailed 7-0 11 seconds into the first quarter. But they have established their dominance thus far since that time. A good run up the middle. That's going to be for a first down. A better run than his previous carry for Mahara. Ball's now at the 30, first down and 10 for Canada. So all that talk from Europe going into this game, particularly from one player who said 23-0, well, that's not holding up very well right now. And Team Europe is going to burn a timeout. And we will take one with them. When we return, it'll be first down and 10 from 30 for Team British Columbia here from Hero.
Hey fans, bring your kid's special sports moment to life. Big Shots, the nation's leader in sports and entertainment graphics, makes it easy to turn your star athlete into a big shot. Log on to bigshots.co. That's bigshots.co and learn how to create a Big Shot action poster and life-size die-cut vinyl action image. Big Shots wall graphics will not damage your walls, and they're transferable. Capture the moment with Big Shots.
My advice to an athlete, or really anybody, just become obsessed, become dedicated.
All I did every single day was treat the scout team as my Super Bowl. And so I just tried to go out there and do every single thing that I could to catch the coach's eye and show them that I was a player that they wanted to have on their team and a player that they wanted to give a scholarship to.
Someone's always going to be more athletic than you. Someone's always going to be maybe more talented, but if you work hard, you know anything's possible.
FBU is for you. FBU matches elite athletes with NFL instruction and maximum college exposure. FBU, by position, by professionals, by invitation only. Request an invite today at footballuniversity.org.
And now back for the kickoff for Team Europe, who have now cut into their 14-point deficit. It is now 21-14, 2:56 to go in the first half. Irons and Davis, the two stars for this team offensively, are back for the kick return. And the one that they want to kick it away from, no doubt, would be Davis. And yes, they do. They kick it to Irons, and they fake the give off to, and there he goes. Look at this. A flag is out on the field, however. There's a good block. And another. The ball is all the way down to the 10 for Irons. But it appeared that there was probably an illegal block on the play. That was quite unexpected. The plan by Team Europe backfires, and I think what may have led to that was the fake, where it looked like Irons was going to give the ball over to Davis, and he didn't. Instead, he scampers down the sideline and then cuts it back to the near sideline. The referees are pointing to the defensive side with the flag. We'll see where they place the ball. And it is not a penalty against Canada, it's actually against Europe. And so instead of at the 10-yard line, it is half the distance to the 5, adding insult to injury. I can't tell what number 87 for Team Europe is doing. He appears to be looking at the opposite field towards Team Canada. Not sure what he would have to say to those guys. And just like that, Team Canada, after giving up a big touchdown on a punt return, nearly comes up with one of their own on the kick return, thanks to number 44, Malik Irons. Now it goes inside to Mahara, and he's going to have the touchdown. The spin move got him there from 5 yards out. And that's a well-earned touchdown for that young man, as he has been running the ball hard, especially here in the second quarter. So Team Europe has got to be kicking themselves after allowing that big kick return, and then, of course, the touchdown here. They had cut the deficit in half, and now it is back to a 14-point deficit, because the extra point is good. And just like that, Canada builds back to a 2-touchdown lead. The score, with just minutes to go in the half, 28-14 over Team
Football University, the nation's leading football training experience, is accepting nominations for its 2013 camps. We teach the leading techniques, drills, and mental aspects of the game to increase your football IQ and to make you a better player. Our instructors are current and former NFL coaches. The same coaches that train today's NFL stars will train you. FBU is by invitation only. Visit footballuniversity.org for more information.
And we are back for another kickoff for British Columbia. They have put up 4 touchdowns here in the first half. And I think for Team Europe, at least for one young man, this was not what they expected. And they are on the losing end, 28-14. There's a high pooch kick, reeled in at the 30. The whistle is blown immediately. They're signaling first down for Team Europe. Apparently no return on the play. A bit of confusion on the, you can see number 38 here for Europe. He's kind of got his hands up like, what's the deal? But occasionally what happens is a player will signal fair catch and then forget that they signaled fair catch, which indeed was the case. So they could have actually penalized him for doing so, but instead, here we go with first down and 10. It's an option play. QB keeper now rolls out to the right, looking to throw, but nowhere to go, and gets out of bounds. Losing 4 yards on the play. So Dorbalewski not making the best decision there. Instead of throwing it away, he actually goes out of bounds and loses 3 yards. The ball back at the 27. Second down and 13 with 2:21 to go in the first half. It's been an up and down, back and forth kind of game. 6 touchdowns between the two teams. Certainly a high-scoring affair. And honestly, coming into this game, not really sure what to expect, but it has been an exciting offensive battle. Dorbalewski nowhere to go, gets rid of it. There's a good catch in the open field at the 20, up to the 30, and out to the 35, close to the 36-yard line. So a good job by number 81 of turning something out of nothing. That's Sanjay Hoffman with his first reception of the game. Clock continues to wind down with 1:39 to go here in this game. This is the first half of the first game in the first annual International Bowl Series here in San Antonio. And now a timeout is being called by Team Europe, their second of the half. When we come back, it'll be third down and about 6 to go from the 35-yard line for Team Europe. We'll be back.
In order to be faster each and every day, you have to keep working hard.
Feet moving, feet moving, feet moving. You gotta get out. Bam. Every time, full speed. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Push it good. Lift. Look at the hands. Look at the eye level. I like it.
Let's take 5 hits and let it go. He was bouncing right there. He ran right to you.
It's only one ball, and everybody should be running to the ball.
Control the lift.
Watch my knees. They go out like what? I'm climbing a big tree.
Power comes from what? Through your feet, through your hips, through your palms of your hand, guys.
And back from the second charge timeout of the first half for Team Europe. An important third down and 6 play. They need to get the ball to the 41 to keep this drive alive. They will have 1 timeout left to burn. We have seen that they can throw the ball downfield. However, of late, the defense for Canada has been doing a good job of not only getting protection downfield one-on-one with the receivers, but also getting in the face of the quarterback. That being Dorbalewski. Man in motion, there's the dangerous runner. Now a quick throw down the sideline. Gets the first down and gets out of bounds across midfield, so a well-designed play here for Team Europe. And you could see the defense of Canada respecting number 48, Isdale, as he ran into a screen area, but he was not the intended receiver. Instead, it goes up the field. And a big first down that also stopped the clock with 1:22 to go in the half. Three receivers wide and one man back. Dobrolewski looking to pass again. He's in trouble, and he's brought down for a sack back at the 34. The defense closed in a hurry, and he could not find his way out, and Europe will take its last time out. Carter Young got in on the sack. And while Europe takes their last time out, we will be back with 1:10 to go and a fourth very long situation.
I've been playing chess since I was 9 years old. It helps me anticipate my opponent's next move. Chess prepares my mind for battle. Because victory requires my strength, my speed, and my intelligence. My name is Ray Rice, and I'm an enlightened warrior.
Introducing the Youth Football Coaches Association, the premier online resource dedicated to improving coaching effectiveness and promoting youth safety for all volunteers. Register free at yfbca.org and begin receiving free youth coaching information, monthly newsletters, certification, and background checks. The most up-to-date concussion information, drills for all positions and skill levels. Learn all types of offensive and defensive plays. Join us at yfbca.org, where we are making good coaches great teachers.
Look into it. That would help. I might be able to. And back from their last charge timeout is Team Europe. We just had a sack on the first down play, which got them across midfield. Now here's the QB keeper and a fumble by Dobrolewski. He recovers it, now takes off on the left side, goes with the throw downfield, and in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, who would have had a sure-handed touchdown had he hung on to the ball. Boy, what a play by Dobrolewski. Very Tony Romo-like on that play. Committing the fumble, but somehow recovering and making a play. Unfortunately, a drop pass down the field, which easily could have been a touchdown. And that's another unfortunate break for Team Europe. And it remains third down and very long to go. It appeared to be that the receiver on the play was running back Barrington, number 90. Now they go with the running play. Not fooling anybody on the defense there, and that's going to just run the clock down. Incidentally, Canada still has 2 of their timeouts left. And they use one here with 40 seconds to go. They have not stopped the clock yet, but they're going to have to put some seconds back up on the clock. And coming out of the timeout, it will be fourth down for Europe, with Canada looking to possibly make one last play, one last run at another score. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hey fans, bring your kids' special sports moment to life. Big Shots, the nation's leader in sports and entertainment graphics, makes it easy to turn your star athlete into a big shot. Log on to bigshots.co. That's bigshots.co and learn how to create a Big Shot action poster and life-size die-cut vinyl action image. Big Shots wall graphics will not damage your walls, and they're transferable. Capture the moment with Big Shots.
My advice to an athlete, or really anybody, just become obsessed, become dedicated.
All I did every single day was treat the scout team as my Super Bowl. And so I just tried to go out there and do every single thing that I could to catch the coach's eye and show them that I was a player that they wanted to have on their team and a player that they wanted to give a scholarship to.
Someone's always going to be more athletic than you. Someone's always going to be maybe more talented, but if you work hard, you know anything's possible.
And back for that all-important fourth down punt. We have seen great success on the part of Team British Columbia from Marcus Davis in these situations. It has to be a growing concern under these circumstances for Team Europe as they prepare for the punt. There's a good snap. And it goes right to Marcus Davis. There he goes past the 40. He's going to get to the 50. The 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. He's gone. Touchdown, British Columbia. And if there was ever any doubt about who the star of this team was offensively, it has now officially been put to rest. Marcus Davis with now his second touchdown of the game. He now joins Mason Swift. They each have 2 touchdowns. But what do we have here? It looks like the touchdown has not been put on the scoreboard yet, and the referees are having a discussion here. The clock is stopped at 28 seconds, but still shows 28-14. I did not see a flag. Oh, I do see a flag on the far side now, just beyond midfield. I didn't see it come out initially. And of course, Marcus did initially come up on that right sideline before he cut it back in, so it could very well be a penalty against Canada. And that would be most unfortunate, as Davis made a very, very good run back for that one. And an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty has been called on both sides. Does this negate the touchdown? It apparently does. So penalties called on both teams, offsetting penalties, that is. And we will have a redo on the play. And Davis just ran that ball from such a long ways out. See if we can do it again. Might want to go ahead and get Irons out there to replace him. It seems that we had a timeout on the field. They're getting the play reset for the 2 teams. The referees are updating the penalty that was called once again, offsetting penalties, so redo the play. Ball stays at the 36-yard line. And once again, Davis is back for the punt return. Can he do it again? It would be unthinkable to see him run it back all the way again after just doing it and getting it taken away. But really, on every punt attempt that he has returned, he has had success getting the ball to at least midfield. So it seems that on special teams, Europe has no answer for this young man. Snap this time goes a bit to the right, but gets it away. That one bounces away from the dangerous return man, Davis, and stops at about the 35-yard line. And with 17 seconds to go, Canada will take the ball for one last time. More than likely will just run the clock out, as they are set to get the ball in the second half and currently have a 2-touchdown lead at 28-14. Whatever naysayers there may have been about this Canada team, they have to be scratching their heads or at least holding their breath or shaking their head or maybe even clapping their hands as Team Canada has come out and done a very impressive job against a very talented team out of Europe. Back to throw. McKinnon goes down the sideline and incomplete. So McKinnon has stayed in at quarterback, replacing O'Brien for the later half of this second quarter. 12.6 seconds to go, and this figures to be the very last play of the half. The intended receiver was actually number 85, Adriel Sellers. And a pre-snap penalty here. 1 second came off the clock. Still very cold out here, high atop Hero Stadium for this action in the first annual International Bowl Series, brought to you by Football University here in San Antonio. Exciting action for the week. This is the second day of the event. And that's going to be a penalty against the defense now for too many men on the field, as number 36 on the defense could not get himself off the field in time. Canada snapped the ball. The half cannot end on a defensive penalty, so therefore we will continue with at least one more play. That's Nicky Baker, the guilty man who was trying to get off the field but couldn't, but is now back on the field. McKinnon looking to throw. He goes down the sideline and just out of reach of the intended receiver again. And what do you know? We still have 4.4 seconds to go. And it's third down. So McKinnon showing that he also has great arm strength. The ball just a little bit too hard down the sideline. Once again, the intended receiver being Sellers, who seems to be the fastest man on the field, but this whole team has great speed. So it's a dangerous lineup. And they'll try it again. Still good protection. McKinnon airs it out. That'll be the last play of the half. Incomplete pass again. So no damage done here, but Canada has done plenty of damage for the first half thus far, as they lead it here at halftime from Hero Stadium, 28-14. This is Alex Moore with the play-by-play call for All-American Games and FBU National Championship Bowl week. We'll be back for the second half in just a moment.
Football University, the nation's leading football training experience, is accepting nominations for its 2013 camps. We teach the leading techniques, drills, and mental aspects of the game to increase your football IQ and to make you a better player. Our instructors are current and former NFL coaches. The same coaches that train today's NFL stars will train you. FBU is by invitation only. Visit footballuniversity.org for more information.
He's got notes that are easier to read. I've got mine downloaded. Oh.
Now we got Cecil Martin, director.
And we're back for the second half of the game here at Hero Stadium in this first international contest between Europe and Canada. Europe built a 7-0 lead 11 seconds into the first quarter, but then Canada came back with 3 consecutive touchdowns to take a 21-7 lead. Europe bounced back with a kick return for a score, cutting the deficit in half, but quickly a turnaround on a play on a punt return for Canada, which led to them being up 28-14. And right now here in the second half, I am joined by a man who has become very involved in the process going on around here with these games and educating the players, that being Cecil Martin.
How you doing, my friend? Great to be here.
I'm glad you came up to join us with this cold weather. It's 46 degrees when we first got here, and the temperature is continuing to drop. And high up here in the stands, way above the stands, of course, a bit cooler, possibly than it is on the field, for that matter.
Well, you know what? It may be cold out here weather-wise, but both of these teams are heating it up. I tell you, it may seem like it's a little bit of a blowout, Canada over Europe, but with a score of 28-14, I've seen some great plays by a group of young men who have only been practicing together for a very short while, and just seem very excited about this experience and playing some really good football right now.
Yes, indeed, and much of the plays coming for these teams have been coming by distinctive players. On the part of Canada, you have two men who have scored 2 touchdowns each. As you look here, number 7, Marcus Davis, with 2 touchdowns. And he's been getting it done on the kicking and punting return unit as well. And Europe has actually been trying to kick it away from him now on the previous couple of kicks.
Well, Davis really has an interesting story. I don't know if you've talked about him at all. He was part of the all-Canadian team that came down for one of the East Bay All-Star games and played against America and shocked the world with an unbelievable game and beating America. And he was integral in that, running back a kickoff and just showing some impressive moves.
So it's very possible that Europe already knew about how dangerous this young man could be as a kick returner, and yet they didn't heed that warning early on, it seemed.
Yeah, they did not heed that warning, but sometimes those who are just good, no warning can stop them from doing what they do best. I tell you, this BC team is an exciting bunch of young people who have really, really progressed together. A group of these guys were part of that all-star team on the East Bay All-American Championship a couple years ago, and I've got a chance to see them develop at FBU camps as well. And this All-Europe team, this is their first time experiencing this, and they're getting ready to kick it off and look for them to try to make something happen on defense and slow this BC Canadian team down.
And this is a good break so far, as that kick right there was hauled down in the corner near the end zone. But you see Marcus Davis still brings it back beyond the 20-yard line, even after losing track of the football for a moment. No doubt the cold weather does affect the grip on the ball, and that's why sometimes the ball does slip in and out, as it is harder to hang on to the ball in these conditions.
Well, the impressive thing about Davis, I mean, we continue to talk about him a lot. I mean, right there you can see one guy isn't going to take him down. It takes group tackling in order to take him down. And this offense, this BC offense, has been really showing some nice poise and really disciplined play in the first half. Let's see if they can keep it on in the second.
And something that we saw them doing was they were able to go to 2 different quarterbacks, first with O'Brien and then going to another quarterback, McKinnon. Now they've gone back to O'Brien here in the second half. But both these guys have shown that they can run the ball, especially O'Brien. But McKinnon was really lighting it up, just throwing the ball downfield. They weren't getting receptions per se, but you can see the threat is there to move the ball downfield in big chunks.
Well, 31, Liam, I tell you this, that looked like there was a type of a wildcat offense they just displayed right there, which is pretty interesting at this youth level, these guys playing this kind of a game. And when I say youth, I mean, obviously they're high school kids, but, man, do they have a lot of talent.
Now, I spoke with some of these Canadian players earlier this morning, and they were telling me about that they were going to be playing with a Canadian-style defense. And I asked immediately, there's a play deep down the field at the sideline, hauled in for the reception inside the 30.
Big play, big play. Brandon Lightis, the big boy, the large target. He's tall, great hands, but that throw was unbelievable. Threw that about 40 yards, I think.
Yeah, we've seen them trying to throw the ball downfield in the first half, but they were just not able to connect. But the pocket has been very solid around the quarterback for Canada, which has not necessarily been the case for Europe. Canada's been able to use their speed to get to the quarterback all throughout the first half, but that has not been the case for Canada with their offense. But this time, a great connection down the field. Now the screen pass to the left side, has a great block. Gets out in the open, he's at the 10, the 5. And once again, it's number 7. Marcus Davis coming that close to getting his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Marcus Davis cannot be taken down by one person. I can tell you this, though. The European defense has had a challenging time in the beginning of this first half, but look for them to make a big, big comeback when the offense gets the ball back. But I can't say enough good things about this Canadian offense, this British Columbia offense. They have just been potent the entire game, just marching down the field and scoring at will.
Yes, indeed, and this was coming after they allowed a touchdown 11 seconds into the first quarter. But since then, after coming up short in their first possession, they've pretty much been unstoppable. There's a trick play as Irons faked like he was getting the ball in the backfield. The ball goes forward, but for a very short gain.
And as we wait for the British Columbia team to call their next play here on the goal line, let me remind everyone that we've got quite a few FBU camps coming to your area. We've got the Vancouver camp May 3rd through May 5th. We've got Toronto May 17th through the 19th. And I'll tell you the other dates after this play.
Okay. And you see there's a double handoff. They fake to one and go to the other, still short of the goal line. So right now, at the moment, the defensive line for Europe is making a good goal line stand. It is now 3rd down and goal.
We've got some big boys on the defensive line there. Very strong, very powerful. But it looks like they're being marched back a little bit. Let me just jump back in here now. On May 24th to the 26th in Stirling, UK, we'll be having a great FBU camp. And then August 9th through the 11th, we will be in Wolfville, Nova Scotia. We'll give you those dates again because the FBU camp is something, if your kid is playing football, you want to have them at. Let's see what happens at this play.
I'd be curious to know how many people know exactly where Nova Scotia is, but currently right now Canada going in for the touchdown. Speaking of Nova Scotia, which is a part of Canada.
I love Nova Scotia.
Not the British Columbia section, but up there in the northeast corner of the country. In fact, the smallest, I think it's the 2nd smallest, not a state. They don't call them states in Canada, but
provinces.
Yes, it is the 2nd smallest province, but one that's well known for its fish.
Yes, and their lobster.
They actually celebrate Thanksgiving over there, too, I found out.
Yeah, well, we had a great FBU camp there last year. A bunch of these kids made it to it, and a lot of them got a lot of exposure and a lot of opportunity out of that camp. We'll talk more about that as the game goes on.
Extra point attempt is up, and it appears that it was just inside the right upright.
Let me elaborate a little bit more for those who are watching, just so you understand the magnitude of this game by both of these teams. They have traveled a long way. The Europe team, let me just talk about some of those guys. You have one guy on this team here whose family actually changed their daughter's wedding so that they could be here. Okay, we have a young man who was about 340 pounds. A couple years ago, before he found football, they call it American football overseas. Now he's down to about 280, loving this sport and actually getting some exposure. We have another kid who has actually been offered a Division I ride to a school here in Texas, UIW, because of his time at an FBU camp at FBU Sterling and FBU Bristol. And as a result, he got enough of a look from them to be offered that scholarship. And so, really what FBU is trying to do is really branch out what we do with kids in America from the standpoint of teaching them the game of football and giving them the exposure to help them get to the next level. So definitely take a look at it when you guys get an opportunity because it's a fun camp to be at. Oh, it seems like BC always wants to do a little onside kick trickery kind of a kickoff. It's interesting.
Had very few kicks that have actually been kicked past inside the 30-yard line, and even when they did do that, Europe was stopped and whistled for a fair catch. So Europe has not been having any problems with field position. They've just had some trouble with that Canadian speed getting into the backfield when they do drop back for a pass. The running game has been more effective, at least it was early on.
Everyone, let me tell you, we have just brought in a new quarterback, Kenny McKay. Kenny McKay, number 18. He's a little guy, but with a big arm and a great running ability.
And the first play is a run play down to the right sideline. Has some room, cuts it back, and a good tackle there just outside the 30-yard line by number 42 for the Canada team.
No, oh, yeah.
That's Cameron Spence with the tackle.
What a great run, going off the right-hand side, right over the tackle.
Dobrolevsky was the quarterback for the team in the first half, but he was having trouble containing himself in the pocket as he was being flushed out and was unable to stay on his feet a number of times, and that may be, in fact, the reason why they have decided to go with a more mobile quarterback.
Yeah, McKay is really good. He plays football at the University of Sterling for a team called the Klansmen. He's a quarterback there. That team has been doing very well, and I think they've won more games this year than they have in a long time. This All-Europe team boasts a couple guys from the University of Stirling in Scotland, and the running back, Grant Isdale, who you saw score a touchdown in the first quarter, first play of the game, he's also on that team. But, yeah, this guy is a mobile quarterback, but he's also a smart quarterback, and he does have a surprisingly big arm. Look for him to throw the ball down the field and put the ball right where it needs to be.
What is his listed size at? Well, he looks like he can't be any taller than 6 feet.
He is not. He's only 5'5". And
that pass is intercepted, going the other way for Canada.
Interception.
Brought back to the 35, the 40. Breaking tackles and near midfield for Canada.
Woo! What a great defensive play by BC. You got to love it. You got to love it. Now, if you're Europe, you might not love it as much. I think what he was looking for was a different route. I think he expected the receiver to cut in on a slant, but he kept straight up. Hence, there we have an interception.
And this interception being made by Kevin Weens, number 39 for the defense. And getting a good return as well. As you see, he broke a couple of tackles on the way back to the 49-yard line. So Canada takes over, leading at 35-14. 5:55 to go here in the third quarter. Play-by-play coverage here brought to you by Alex Moore and joined here in the second half. Joined here in the second half by
Cecil Martin is my name, my friend.
Wanted to hear you say it yourself.
Oh,
this
yeah.
time.
Say my name. Say my name. Okay, what's your name, my friend?
I go by Alex, Alex Moore.
Alex, give me more. All right, I love it. I love it. You know what? Why do this if we can't have fun? We got two good teams out here fighting, scratching, and clawing to play some good football. They're having a great experience. There's nothing better than seeing these young people have a chance to come down here and be a part of what Bowl Week is all about. FBU All-American Games does an amazing job of putting together a spectacle of fun. And
second down for British Columbia at the 45-yard line. Man in motion number 38 coming to the left. O'Brien with the handoff going up the middle, across midfield, back across the original line of scrimmage. And inside to about the 48-yard line, back in Europe territory.
Looks like that running back carried him about 2 or 3 yards. I love some tough running from my days at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and then with the Philadelphia Eagles, I've seen some tough running. My running back at Wisconsin was Ron Dane, and I'll tell you a little bit about him after this play. He carried a few people.
Heisman Trophy winner, if I'm not mistaken, back in 2000.
Alex, I'm thoroughly impressed with your knowledge, my friend.
Well, I was a Drew Brees fan back in the day, and they were battling for that Heisman Trophy a couple of years
ago. We were. They were. You see that overthrow. Oh, yeah, my God, he was wide open.
That's been the case for Canada, is that they've been getting open receivers, but just not able to quite make the connection, although we did see a very nice connection on their previous drive. But this bringing up fourth down, and so the punting unit will take the field.
And let me just elaborate a little bit more as we get ready for this punt. The FBU camps that are coming to your areas, those who are watching these two special teams, make sure you go to the website, www.footballuniversity.org, and find your camp.
And I'll tell you something about that website as well. They've got good parent feedback is there as well. They like to get the parents involved as much as possible in their parents' interests in making football a priority, teaching them great skills, not just on the field, but off the field as well. And I think that's a very important part of the equation.
I think you're right, my friend. I think any of these young people who are looking for that opportunity to take their lives to the next level, and parents want to support that in the best way possible from the standpoint of them being student athletes, I think the FBU camp is one that everyone should be looking into, and it's one that is more than just about football, but character and family. And when you look into those dates and you come by one of those camps and you look at those testimonials, it is a testament of what the camps are about and how they help these young people develop.
And we'll continue to see more great action as the days continue. Right now enjoying some cold weather football. As my old coach back from junior high would say, this is perfect football weather.
Whoa! And I just saw a perfect football play right there. Wow, big tackle for loss by the big British Columbia defensive lineman.
And this time number 88 getting in on the tackle for a loss. And that's been the case for the majority of this game, is despite the speed for Europe, despite the size rather, Canada has been able to effectively utilize their speed to negate that size difference. And going into the game, you just don't know exactly what's going to happen, but certainly Canada has been able to make the big tackles, and Europe has been having trouble keeping the Canadian players in front of them to make the tackles. Changing the play at the line of scrimmage, it appears. And now a timeout has been called by Europe, their first of the half. We'll be back in just a moment to pick up second down and long for Team Europe, now trailing at 35-14 late in the third quarter.
In order to be faster each and every day, to keep working hard.
Feet moving, feet moving, feet moving. You got to get out. Bam. Every time, full speed. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Hey! Push it, good. Lift! Look at the hands, look at the eye level. I like it.
Let's take 5 hits and let it go.
He was bouncing right there. He ran right to you.
It's only one ball, and everybody should be running to the ball.
Control the lift.
Watch my knees, they go out like what? I'm climbing a big tree.
Power comes from what? Through your feet, through your hips, through the palms of your hand, guys.
And we're back with this action for the second down for Europe. Deep in their own zone for the first time in this game. Pressure from the Canadian defense has been a problem. A fake QB keeper. Now the run down around the left side. Goes for a minimal gain of about 2 or 3 yards on the play. Clock continues to wind down here in the third quarter. We're down to 3:10 to go in the third. Canada has maintained and built a 3-touchdown lead at 35-14. They were up by 2 touchdowns at halftime, but have continued to pour it on offensively. But Europe's still in the hunt. But right now looking at a 3rd down and 11 from the 15. There's a swing pass on the right side. But once again, the swarming defense of Canada gets there quickly. Well short of the first down, up at the 20-yard line. This brings up 4th down, and the punting unit comes back onto the field, and the ever-dangerous Marcus Davis back to return, standing around midfield, waiting the attempt. Last time they did successfully kick it away from him and had the ball trickle out of bounds for no return. This time they kick it deep. Davis having trouble handling it. Somehow stays on his feet, gets away from a couple of men, waiting for a block, nowhere to go. Reversing his feet, but is finally tackled by about 4 guys. That's how many it took. Despite the size, he is one tough cookie to bring down, as Cecil Martin did mention earlier. Looks can be deceiving. The tackle is credited to number 41, Campbell, but it could have gone to any number of guys on that play. Ball back at the 22-yard line, and this will equal the worst field position for Canada now in the game. With 1 minute and 36 seconds to go in the third. And I'd like to go ahead and say that it's been a pleasure to be here.
They call timeout.
Okay. I'd like to go ahead and thank Cecil Martin for coming out and joining us for a moment here in the third quarter, lending his color commentary and telling us a little bit more about FBU and what it means to the not just the players and the parents, but also to men like himself who have experienced playing at the NFL level and the collegiate level and have had great success and are encouraging these young boys to continue to pursue their dreams and hopefully make it to the big stage themselves one day. I'm sure a man like Cecil Martin has plenty of his own stories to share. And as he said, you can go to FBU.com, footballuniversity.com, and check it out. There's a deep throw down the middle of the field, and what a catch! Reeled in by none other than Marcus Davis. He has really become the star of this game, but that was a heck of a throw, also made by O'Brien. We have an injured man on the field, and that appears to be number 81 on the Canadian team. We'll take a quick injury timeout and return with a big first down coming up for Canada.
I've been playing chess since I was 9 years old. It helps me anticipate my opponent's next move. Chess prepares my mind for battle. Because victory requires my strength, my speed, and my intelligence. My name is Ray Rice, and I'm an enlightened warrior.
Introducing the Youth Football Coaches Association, the premier online resource dedicated to improving coaching effectiveness and promoting youth safety for all volunteers. Register free at yfbca.org and begin receiving free youth coaching information, monthly newsletters, certification, and background checks. The most up-to-date concussion information, drills for all positions and skill levels. Learn all types of offensive and defensive plays. Join us at yfbca.org, where we are making good coaches great teachers.
And back from the timeout, the injury timeout rather, David Mann was the injured player for Canada. Taken off the sideline, appears to not be too badly injured. Meanwhile, it's a big first down here for Canada off the big pass play. A picture-perfect throw and catch. Here's O'Brien now taking it up the middle on the keeper, and he has another first down up around the 30-yard line, continues to move the pile. And I tell you, that Europe defense is just not able to make the play when it matters the most right here, as they are continuing to struggle to keep these guys in front of them and make the big tackle. Jamal Beard, number 97, coming off the field for Europe. Substitution coming in. And up the middle goes Irons. He's been quiet here in the second half. Doesn't get much there, a couple of yards. This takes us down to the final seconds of the third quarter here from Hero Stadium. Continued coverage will continue, that is, for the fourth quarter. Canada appears to try and get another play off in time before the clock winds down. And this is second down. And they do get the playoff in time. It appears to be another QB keeper up the middle for the first down across the 15. And so, with the third quarter in the books, another touchdown tagged on for the lead for Canada. Their lead has ballooned to 3 touchdowns, 35-14, and once again knocking on the door to raise that lead to a 4th touchdown. We'll be back here at Hero Stadium for the 4th quarter after this.
Hey fans, bring your kid's special sports moment to life. Big Shots, the nation's leader in sports and entertainment graphics, makes it easy to turn your star athlete into a big shot. Log on to bigshots.co. That's bigshots.co and learn how to create a Big Shot action poster and life-size die-cut vinyl action image. Big Shots wall graphics will not damage your walls and they're transferable. Capture the moment with Big Shots.
My advice to an athlete, or really anybody, just become obsessed, become dedicated.
All I did every single day was treat the scout team as my Super Bowl. And so I just tried to go out there and do every single thing that I could to catch the coach's eye and show them that I was a player that they wanted to have on their team and a player that they wanted to give a scholarship to.
Someone's always going to be more athletic than you. Someone's always going to be maybe more talented, but if you work hard, you know anything's possible.
Back here for the 4th quarter at Hero Stadium in this international bowl game being played between Europe and Canada. You know, something I had mentioned earlier that I didn't get to talk about with Cecil Martin was to get his input on what is the future for the international bowl. Because this year you had 4 teams, one from Europe, one from Canada, one from the U.S., and one from Mexico. But what is the interest around the rest of the world? Could there be an Australian team? Could there be a South African team? Could there be an Asian team of some kind? Incidentally, Canada with the ball at the 15. Now trouble in the backfield. O'Brien goes down. I believe that's the first sack of the game against O'Brien by the Europe defense. Looked to me like number 77 was in on that play for the defense. That being Christoph Leitner. Possibly a relation to the ex-Dookie. As I say this with some Kentucky fans in the area, how dare I do such a thing? In shotgun, here's O'Brien looking to throw, has time. There's a short pass to the right side. And Irons fighting his way inside the 10 to the 5. And he's close to another first down. 9 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Game is pretty much sewn up with a 3-touchdown advantage. And looking to add more to that for this team. The ball has officially been placed at the 5-yard line. They need to get halfway between the 3 and the 4 to get first and goal. It's a QB keeper for O'Brien. Nowhere to go, however. He does get it to about the 3, and that could be a first and goal. But they are signaling 4th down, so apparently he is just a bit short. But it is going to be close. It'll be 4th and inches. Could be an opportunity to see the first field goal of the game. The offense is staying on the field, so they're going to go for it here. A chance to ice the game, but even if they don't get it, it's going to be O'Brien up the middle. The play appeared to be dead from the moment it was spiked, or hiked rather, but keep in mind they only needed half a yard to get the first down, and they did get it. So it is first and goal at the 3. So a good, patient play by the quarterback, O'Brien. we have not seen anything from their other quarterback, McKinnon, here in the second half. It has been all O'Brien, but he has hooked up with some big plays down the field. One in particular, a long pass play to Marcus Davis. It wasn't for a touchdown, but it was a big one that set up a score. Now going to the end zone, high up in the air. He got it. What a catch. Unbelievable. The coverage was very tight, but the pass was on time. And you want to talk about a Randy Moss type of reception for a touchdown. Brendan. Otherwise known as the coffin corner, as I'm being told. But Brendan Linnaeus with the touchdown grab, his first of the game. So BC is thoroughly in command now, up by 4 touchdowns, 42-14 with 7:13 to go in the fourth. And when we come back, it'll be another kickoff going to
Football University, the nation's leading football training experience, is accepting nominations for its 2013 camps. We teach the leading techniques, drills, and mental aspects of the game to increase your football IQ and to make you a better player. Our instructors are current and former NFL coaches. The same coaches that train today's NFL stars will train you. FBU is by invitation only. Visit footballuniversity.org for more information.
We're back for the kickoff as it is taken now by Europe. It bounces inside the 10. Play resumes, and it's going to be a long ways to go for Europe unless they make something here, but they don't. A good open field tackle inside the 10. And I'm telling you right now, it is just pouring rain all over this Europe team. Figuratively speaking, of course. British Columbia has slowly pulled away in this game. It was competitive for much of the first half. At one point, it was 21-14. 3 touchdowns consecutively had been scored by British Columbia. Then they gave up a touchdown, but since then, 3 consecutive touchdowns once more, leading to the 42-14 lead. With 7:06 to play, there's the screen pass going out to the left side, up the field to the 16-yard line. And that's Grant Isdell with the reception. If there's been, you know, even in a losing effort when you're down by 4 touchdowns, there are always positives to look at. Europe, of course, is a continent that is still on the rise when it comes to football experience. These guys appear to be very well trained. They came here to win, and they've played very hard. But British Columbia has also a team with great talent. And quite simply, they've been able to make the plays that Team Europe has not been able to make. And that's really what it comes down to in a lot of games. A few plays here and a few plays there, and you're looking at a totally different game. It is now 3rd down and about 5. Ball at the 13-yard line, close to the 14. There's the deep throw, but it's going to be overthrown. And Cecil Martin was raving about this young quarterback earlier, who checked into the game here in the second half, replacing Dobrolevsky. And that's Kenny McKay. Unfortunately, has not been able to connect with any of those passes. In fact, he has an interception, the only interception for Team Europe in this game, much to the dismay of the fans and the supporters. Of course, you can't judge a player by just one game, and unfortunately for these teams, we only get to see them play once. Many of these players may return back next year if they still qualify or if they're still eligible. And maybe we'll see even more teams involved in this. And there's a good tackle on the punt return. Notice how this time there was no number 7 in the area for the punt return. This time reeled in by number 35 on the punt return for Team Canada. Incidentally, number 35 is Nathan Lund. Down to 5:21 to go from Hero Stadium. British Columbia, the game all sewn up. And now we do see the backup quarterback back in the game. He goes with the pass over to Swift, who gets a couple of yards on the catch. McKinnon was the one who really showed to have the rifle arm. Now, like I said, we did see some great pass completions administered by their starting quarterback, but it appears he may be out for the rest of the game. He's done his part. He had a very good showing out there, so it's time to give McKinnon some time out there. O'Brien nods in approval. Looking at a second down play here. The throw to the right side, it's caught inside the 30 for the first down to the 29-yard line. And that's Brian Dowds with the reception. He's been called upon a couple of times, but really it's been a pretty good balanced attack by the Canadian team, running the ball and throwing the ball, but it seems like so many of their touchdowns have come on big plays that they've scored in a flash several times, and now there's an offsides, or it appears to be an offsides on the defense there by the left defensive end. I don't know what the holdup is here. It was pretty clear what happened, but the referee's taking their time on this. Canada marching at the doorstep again, looking to make it 48 points to 14 over Europe. So this moves the ball ever so close inside the 25 now. FBU Football Championship Week will continue with more international play. Team USA will play against Team Mexico. There will also be a game between Canada and USA later on in the week also. Let's not forget, of course, the FBU National Championship Bowl Series continues with the final 4 teams at the 7th and 8th grade levels. This is a 64-team bracket that has been narrowed down to the final 4. Been hearing some good things about these teams. There was an 8th grade team from San Antonio that came up 1 game short, and also a 7th grade team from Dallas that came up 1 game short. So no Texas teams in that battle, but still a lot of excitement expected in the days ahead. And here's another touchdown for BC. And this one scored by number 46 for his first touchdown of the game, that being Mark Lego. not going to say anything else about it. It is now 48-14 with 3:33 to go. Unfortunately for Europe, they've been unable to get anything offensively going. They did take the ball down on a big run play that seemed to be setting them up for a possible chance to cut into the deficit back when it was 35-14. Unfortunately, an interception ended that drive abruptly. And really since then, Europe has not done much of anything with the ball offensively. And now with 3:33 to go in the game, it is now Canada 49 and Europe 14. We'll be back with another kickoff for Canada.
In order to be faster each and every day, to keep working hard.
Feet moving, feet moving, feet moving. You gotta get out. Bam. Every time, full speed. Push it good. Lift. Look at the hands. Look at the eye level. I like it.
Let's take 5 kicks and let it go.
He was bouncing right there. He ran right to you.
It's only one ball, and everybody should be running to the ball.
Control the wrist.
Watch my knees. They go out like what? I'm climbing a big tree.
Power comes from what? Through your feet, through your hips, through the palms of your hand, guys.
And so back for yet another kickoff for British Columbia. You know, it has just been brought to my attention about the young man who just scored the touchdown, Mark Lego, that he is indeed connected to the Lego company, the family name, of course, for the toys that have been around for so many years. I do remember doing a study on this company a long time ago. I'm a little sketchy on the details, but it is one of the longest standing companies in America, along with the Oreo cookie company as well. But if he indeed is connected to that family, then certainly that is an interesting fact, a factoid to be sure. Ball at the 25-yard line for Europe in what could very well be their last drive of the game. Keep in mind that these games are not going any further to, there's no bracket system here. These are simply just sort of like all-star games between the best that each continent or each country has to offer. Here comes a draw play up the middle. Doesn't go for much. In fact, it's a loss of a couple of plays. And once again, a good play by the Canadian defense. And it seems that on the part of Europe, they just are not being aggressive with the ball at this point. McKay on the keeper, just unable to break through the pile. And really, it just seems that the British Columbia defense and offense slowly but surely wore down the Europe team on both sides of the ball until they virtually had nothing left in the tank. And really by the beginning of the second half, and there's a deep throw by McKay, but it's underthrown. We saw him try to throw one earlier that was intercepted. This time maybe got a little bit too much air underneath it, and it falls harmlessly at about the 38-yard line and stops the clock with 2:25 to go. And another interesting point has been brought to my attention that indeed cold weather, although it's a factor no matter what when it comes to football, the clock has been stopped with 2:09. I did not see a signal for a timeout. But getting back to the point, I did mention, of course, that in cold weather you're looking at the fact that the ball stiffens and you just don't get as much grip on the ball, and even when you're kicking the ball, it's even harder to do so then. But possibly some of these players from England and other parts of Europe might not be as suited for the cold weather as these Canadian players are. But one thing I know about with Europe is that there are plenty of areas where it does get cold, and many of these players are from Germany and Belgium and Scotland, and although I don't think Belgium would be considered one of those Northern European countries, many of these players do come. And there's a near interception on the left side, which goes in and out of the hands of number 40, Jordan Chen. First time I've called his name tonight. He was very frustrated with himself for letting that one go, because at this point of the field, that is very well a great chance at another touchdown. And really, it would have just been for bragging rights to get the team above the 50-point mark, as the game has been out of reach for much of the second half. Late substitution on the part of Europe, number 93 checking in. Here comes the punt. And once again, there's no number 7 in the backfield for the punt. He's taking the rest of the game off. This one, a short one, as it appears that maybe the wind is blowing into the faces of Europe here in this fourth quarter, because when the ball has been thrown that direction from right to left or kicked right to left, it does seem that the wind does carry it just a bit. You can see Canada still being aggressive on offense. And there's the run to the left side for a short gain. Second down and about 8. And now Mark Lego appears to be the starting back for the remainder of the game, as they're simply just trying to wind the clock down, well on their way to the victory. More substitutions coming in for Europe on defense, looking to bring a sack, well, bring the pressure, that is, right now. There's a pitch to the right side. Gets around the right side of the field. Lego cutting it back inside, makes a couple of breaks, and then brought down, tackled by committee up at the 30-yard line, enough for another first down. A flag did come out, and that stops the clock. Appears that it is holding against the offense, so this will come back 10 yards. And the fans who are really just beneath us, no fans on the opposite side of the field, have really been troopers for this game, despite the cold weather. The temperature at the start of the game was 46 degrees. No doubt it has gotten colder. The expected low tonight was 37. We may be nearing that as we speak. And of course, high above Hero Stadium, it is colder here than it is anywhere else in the stadium. Something else that I had wanted to mention to Cecil Martin earlier when he was here was that, you know, he played football at Wisconsin and then played at the pro level for Philadelphia, so he probably had a lot of experience in weather games just like this. Now there's a run play that goes down the field for a first down, so despite the penalty, Canada still gets the first down on second down and long. The ball goes inside the 30 again. Unfortunately got out of bounds, which stopped the clock with 1:21 to go, but they are resuming play now. So Team Europe is going to go down with the loss for this inaugural clash. But they will be back next year, and if they get a chance to play Canada again, I'm sure they will be reminded of this game and be looking to come back with another win. This team is only going to get better. Football, American football rather, is a growing sport in Europe. And as it turns out that, as I was talking to some of the coaches for this team with Europe, it's not just one particular team that's necessarily the most popular. Each team has its own set of followers. But they did indeed mention that because the Patriots have been the most popular team and the winningest team in the last decade, that is the most popular team at the moment, if there is one. Final seconds ticking down. There's a run once again by Mark Lego. He's getting lots of calls here towards the end. Another penalty has been thrown at the 21-yard line. But it's a good group of kids here for the Europe squad. Had a greater chance to talk to some of the players on Canada team, and they were very humble and very focused. And although they didn't have the same size that Team Europe has, they have great speed and, of course, have done a fantastic job of making good, solid tackles and coming up with the big plays when they matter. That is the difference in the game. This penalty will move it back again for British Columbia with 21 seconds to go. At this point, the fans beginning to stand up and try to head towards the exits and hopefully get to a warmer location. And on behalf of Football University, this is Alex Moore, who has been bringing the broadcast for this game. There's going to be plenty of more exciting action in the days ahead. As Cecil Martin and myself mentioned, getting the parents and players involved, along with excellent coaches and ex and former players. That's the end of the game. The final score to this one, British Columbia 49 and Europe 14. Stay tuned for more action with FBU Championship Week. This is Alex Moore signing off on behalf of All American Games. We will see you next time.
Hey fans, bring your kids' special sports moment to life. Big Shots, the nation's leader in sports and entertainment graphics, makes it easy to turn your star athlete into a big shot. Log on to bigshots.co. That's bigshots.co and learn how to create a Big Shot action poster and life-size die-cut vinyl action image. Big Shots wall graphics will not damage your walls, and they're transferable. Capture the moment with Big Shots.
My advice to an athlete, or really anybody, just become obsessed, become dedicated.
All I did every single day was treat the scout team as my Super Bowl. And so I just tried to go out there and do every single thing that I could to catch the coach's eye and show them that I was a player that they wanted to have on their team and a player that they wanted to give a scholarship to.
Someone's always going to be more athletic than you. Someone's always going to be maybe more talented, but if you work hard, you know anything's possible.